Hi, I'm Dr. Lauren Hungler, naturopathic doctor and creator of the Healthy AF Mom Show, the show that helps tired millennial moms regain control of their energy, support their hormones, balance their cravings, get better Z's, live life a little cleaner, and understand their postpartum bods and more. In today's episode, we're going to be jumping into my top 6 tips to help you build the perfect smoothie. In today's bite-sized episode, we're going to be learning 1, why your current smoothie might be actually zapping your energy, 2, my weapon for nutrition biohacking. And number 3, my top 6 tips to help you build the perfect smoothie at home. One that supports your energy, gives you happy hormones, and better digestion. Before we jump into the content, I'd love for you to jump into the show notes and you can check out our 5-day Slay All Day Smoothie Challenge, where we take all the tips and tricks we're going to chat about today and we put them into recipes that help to support your energy and your hormones so you can start living healthy AF tomorrow. And finally, before we dive in, I'd love for you to hit subscribe or review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. So smoothies for me are all about that effortless energy without the afternoon crash. My goal with smoothies are really to jam pack your cup in the morning with protein, fiber, fat, phytonutrients, minerals, micronutrients, antioxidants. I want this thing to be overflowing with nutrition because at the end of the day, if we can start our morning off in a really fantastic fashion and a really optimized way, it can carry you through the rest of your day, which is busy. You've got kids, you've got a job, you're a working mom, you've got your own family, you've got your parents, maybe your brother or sister, your partner. You've got all these roles and all these things to accomplish. And so we want to give you enough energy and enough vibrance throughout your day to tackle it all. Smoothies for me are the way that we do that. In a perfect world, would I love you to start the day with like a home-baked frittata with a side of greens and a matcha latte? Like, yes, that sounds amazing and like sign me up for that day. But on average, most of us don't have time. And so when it comes to smoothies, if we're using it as efficiency, if we're using it for function, if we're looking at nutrition hacking, like trying to get everything in the easiest, simplest way, then smoothies are going to be the way that you can accomplish this. Don't get it twisted. I'm definitely not talking about your drive-through smoothie, right? These are usually going to be loaded with sugar, tons of carbohydrates, backfilled with juice. They really don't offer a ton of nutrition when it comes to your drive-through smoothies or sometimes even the juices or smoothies that you're going to find at the grocery store. I'm talking about the strategic smoothie that you're likely going to be building at home so that once we have all the ingredients and you know the 6 steps, you can rip these off very efficiently and fast and know that you're doing something phenomenal for your body that's going to help to support all those key aspects that you're looking for. Help to improve your energy, help you to reduce cravings, help you to not have that afternoon crash or those huge cravings at 10 or 2 in the afternoon. Making sure that your hormones are optimized and functioning and happy in their capacity. Making sure your metabolism is running on full steam. Making sure that we're having really great bowel movements. All of these pieces and all of these factors can be impacted by your nutrition. And I've had people say like, oh, like what you eat doesn't affect your hormones or what you eat doesn't affect your mood or mental health. And to them, I say it's wrong. And I think it's naive to say that those things, that what you eat on a daily basis and how you eat and when you eat doesn't impact your health. It most certainly does. And when you start playing with it, when you start experimenting with it on yourself, you will quickly come to realize that starting the day or having some type of robust smoothie during the day really can ramp up your health. When we talk about my 6 steps to building your strategic energy smoothie, it's going to be 6 things that I want you to think about how you build it. Right? Because once you know how to build it, you'll know ways that you can change it up, ways that we can make it more versatile and change it for you. So there's going to be a general outline about how I want you to build your smoothie. And then you can take that framework and you can run with it and you can play with different combinations and different strategies. And if you're someone like me where I kind of do relatively the same thing every day because I'm a little lazy and I like the taste of it and it's good enough, That's great. If you like lots of variability and lots of diversity and you want to change it up every day, you are more than welcome to. Our top 6 tips when it comes to building your strategic smoothie. So number 1, we're going to start with our fluid. So you need something at the bottom of your blender, something that's going to emulsify it and make it creamy. So you can use water. You could also use something like a milk alternative. So when we're talking about milk alternatives, you're thinking about almond milk, cashew milk, coconut milk, oat milk. Those are going to be the big ones that most people tend to lean towards. And it's not that I'm anti-dairy by any means. What happens for most people is that they have a lot of servings of dairy in their diet. And so if we can limit it during the day to only certain portions, if you like love cheese or something like that, maybe starting the morning where we're using a milk alternative just creates more variability within your diet. Step 2, we're going to be looking at adding in protein. And so protein is essential. And for most people, we're not getting enough, and especially women. On average, you should be looking at about 0.8 grams to 1 gram per kilogram of body weight for protein adequacy during your day. This usually equates to between 20 and 25 grams first thing in the morning, or at least at that first meal that you're having in the day. You can do this usually is going to be with a protein powder. So protein powders are fantastic because we can get between 15 and 20 grams of protein per serving. So it packs a big punch and we don't need to really work very hard at it. Different options for protein powders you're going to be looking at are going to be a whey isolate is usually the first place people play in the protein powder arena. It's a simple one. It's usually very creamy, pretty tasty for most people. So that could be a really great option if we don't have any dairy issues or dairy sensitivities, is to play with a whey protein powder. You can also do a plant-based protein powder. So here is going to be the rice protein powders, pea, hemp, usually a combination of the 3. Those would be your options. Usually they're going to carry about 15 grams per serving when it's a plant-based protein. So sometimes we just need to ramp it up on the other side. You can also play with adding in hemp hearts or chia or oats into your smoothie as well. And that can add in another layer of protein content for your smoothie. But protein is going to be number 1. Number 2, actually, step 2 on our list is going to be protein, because we usually, for most women, we're not getting enough. And protein adequacy and protein content is going to be really essential when it comes to good energy, sustained energy, reducing cravings, and really focusing on our hormones. Protein is where it's at. Number 3 is going to be looking at the fruit. So most of us are really great at this part. We're fantastic at adding in fruit. The problem is that we always tend to add in a smidge too much fruit. We get a little bit overzealous in the fruit department where we do like 2 or 3 cups of fruit. This is just way, way too much. So what I want you to think about is actually measuring out your fruit, because we can be really great at the overpour when it comes to fruit. You want to think about adding in about 1 to 1.5 cups of fruit per serving or per smoothie. This could be maybe 1 cup of berry mix with half a banana. You could do half a banana with half a cup of pineapples and half a cup of peaches or mangoes if you want something more tropical. The list here is really endless when it comes to the fruit. What we want to focus on is the amount or the portion that you're putting in your smoothie. Again, aiming for about that like 1.5 cups per serving. Because your fruit is fantastic. It's not that we don't want any carbohydrates. We sure do. Your hormones optimize when your carbohydrate load is good. So we want to have the fruit in there. We just don't want to go overboard on the fruit department. Number 4 is going to be looking at adding in our greens or our vegetables. Really, this equates to fiber. So we want to be really mindful of like adding in a veggie layer. So whether that's going to be spinach or kale are probably the 2 most common that people experiment with first, because they don't really add in a huge taste load when it comes to your smoothie. They can be a really great option. A really big handful or 1 cup is kind of your portion sizing on that. And they can be really great at adding in vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, phytonutrients. That's where we're going to get all those really great components, is going to be from greens. Your other option would be microgreens, and this is where I am obsessed. I love microgreens because when we're using smoothies, we're trying to like supercharge your nutrition. Microgreens do this. So microgreens are going to be 40 to 50 times more nutrient dense than their adult counterparts. So if we looked at broccoli, versus a broccoli microgreen, your broccoli microgreen is going to have like 40 times the magnesium, 40 times the calcium that your broccoli veggie or broccoli floret is going to contain. So it's a really simple and fast way to add an even more robust nutrition into your smoothie is adding in microgreens. We can also think about like other veggies. And so we don't want to just get stuck in the leafy greens, but I think you definitely need to add greens into your smoothie. But we can also add in things like zucchini. You can add in cauliflower or cauliflower rice. Adds in a lot of creaminess. It also helps to improve hormone metabolism. So those can be really fun ones to play with. Carrots would also fit into this category too. And so those are kind of some of the veggies you can think about. Adding in greens, this is really going to ramp up your fiber contribution, but really ramps up your phytonutrients, your microminerals, your micronutrient status is going to be your veggie and green category. Number 5 is looking at your fiber. So veggies and fruit are obviously also fiber. We want to aim to get about 30 grams of fiber in for your diet in a day. So adding in a fiber component into your smoothie just helps you to kind of increase the amount that you're having on a daily basis. And so here you're thinking about adding in maybe some hemp hearts or chia. We can really play around with different fiber loads here to amp up the amount of nutrition that you're having, the amount of fiber to help keep you regular, keep your hormones happy, keep you feeling fuller longer, and really kind of support your body in that capacity. Number 6 is going to be a healthy fat. And so healthy fats are phenomenal. And fat got a really bad rap back in the 90s. We're starting to realize that was terrible advice from a nutrition perspective, is like taking out fat from everyone's diet. Fat's what keeps you feeling fuller longer. Fat's what helps to really support your brain and your focus and your cognition. It helps with your steroid hormones. Like fat is essential. And so you don't want to cut it from your diet. And so adding in a healthy fat component into your smoothie is going to be wonderful. We can look at adding in maybe some natural almond butter, some natural peanut butter. You can add in some coconut oil as well, or maybe a little chunk of avocado. Those are going to really ramp up the amount of satiety or that feeling of fullness for you throughout the day or throughout the morning. Helps you to skip that mid-afternoon or mid-morning snack and can really kind of carry you through the day to help you feel fuller longer, as well as help with memory, focus, mood, all the things. Finally, and this is my bonus tip, because we talked about our top 6 steps. My bonus tip is adding in something to really spice it up. So we can play with some of our healing and herbal spices here. Ginger beer would be a really great option. Adding in a thumb, 1-inch piece of ginger can be really supportive as a great general anti-inflammatory. So if we're having period cramping, or maybe we're having just general aches and pains, or we're having bloating or cramping from our digestive system, gingers are really fantastic herb to help ease those aches and pains and reduce the inflammation in the body. It also is super tasty in a smoothie and goes really well with pineapple. Number 2 could be something like turmeric. Again, fantastic antioxidant, fantastic phytonutrient, great as a general anti-inflammatory. You can use turmeric as well in a smoothie to kind of just ramp up that next level for yourself. And number 3 on our spice it up bonus tips would be looking at cinnamon. Cinnamon's a great metabolic support. It helps you to metabolize sugar and your blood sugars more effectively and more efficiently. And so when we're looking at helping to support your weight, helping to support your capacity of feeling fuller longer and trying not to snack all day, cinnamon's a really great addition. It also tastes superb in a smoothie. And so that would be my one really big tip, is adding in cinnamon. So those are our big 6 steps when it comes to building your strategic smoothie. We want a fluid base. You want to add in ample amounts of protein. We're going to get in some really great fruits, but be mindful of how much we're putting in. We're going to add in number 4. We're going to be putting in our greens and our veggies to help really take it to the next level. Number 5 is going to be adding in more fiber. And number 6 is looking at those healthy, really integral fats. And our bonus tip is going to be adding in some of those really healthy and healing spices into your smoothie. That's how you want to set up a smoothie. That's when a smoothie makes it, right? That's when we've got nutrition hacking and biohacking in a cup, is when we're putting all the things that we know we should be doing into one aspect of our day and one routine. And so if you can start your day or have that first meal jumping off with a really robust, nutrient-dense smoothie, you're going to feel amazing. Your metabolism is going to be running smoothly. You're going to feel fuller, longer. Your hormones are going to be happy and blissful. All of these pieces we're ticking off the box when it comes to adding in our fantastic smoothie through the day. Yay, you made it to the end of the episode. If you enjoyed today's show, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and to leave a review. And if you felt inspired by anything you heard today, I'd love to share with you a few ways to get started to feel like a healthy AF mom. So in the show notes below, I've left links to some of my favorite challenges. There's a 5-day slay all day smoothie challenge, a get hella hydrated challenge, and a know your labs challenge. All amazing ways that you can get started to feel like your epic version of yourself today. I also have an awesome coupon code. It's HealthyAF15, all caps, and that's a 15% off discount to my 14-day body reboot. Again, it's linked in the show notes below. And finally, I love to get social, so if you wanted to follow me or leave me a comment or a review, you can find me on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok at dr.lauren.nd. I'll see you there.